Good evening and welcome to another video by Russia UK. Right, on today's video what we're going to be talking about is this on the screen, which you could see is Ola's 4-digit start trip feature. Now they call it a few other things. I think they call it verification code. Ola themselves likes to call it the secure start trip. And basically what it is you enter a 4-digit code which the passenger is sent at the same time when they order the Ola, and they come into your car and you actually pin in that 4 digits before a trip is started. But we'll talk a bit about the pros and cons about it later in the video here. What I want to do is talk about Ola, who has officially started in London, and their approach to London has been a bit more different from launches in other cities. And one of the major transformation you'll see there is what they've done is actually come up with a plan structure for drivers, basically meaning that you subscribe to a particular plan which you think is appropriate for you. Now this has been this is quite clever actually. So what they have done is identified that drivers tend to jump from one app to another, and by locking these drivers into an agreement, it's like them having their own army really of drivers who are solely working for them. Actually, let me show you the plan, and so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are on the page of old London drivers plans, and what we're going to do, we're going to have a quick look at what sort of plans they're offering. Now, at the beginning, they were offering a lot of very good incentives actually for drivers. Some drivers are earning excess of £300 on a daily basis for doing minimal work. Now, one of the reasons I didn't do a video previously to these offers were because these were very limited offers. They ran for a week or two, whatever it was. So that was the reason. It was really time sensitive, that promotion. But never mind. What we're going to do is actually go through the 4 plans Ola are offering. The first one is obviously Ola Flex. Now, this is basically your pay-as-you-go. Ola does this all over the country, where you pay 15% commission outside London. But if you're in the PCO region, obviously there's a 0 on the screen. You can see saying 0%, but after March 22nd, you're going to be on 18% commission, so that is going to go higher for you. Now, that is also a warning shot for everyone else outside London who haven't joined Ola yet. And the main reason I'm saying that is because Ola has always been a 15% commission basis. This is the first hint that they are hedging it up to 18%, and they might roll that throughout the UK. So if I was you, enroll with Ola, at least go into their 15% bracket, even if you don't work for them currently. Okay, Ola Flex, so simple, pay as you go. If we look at the next one, Ola Ultimate. Now, I'm sure this was actually all sold out. These plans were very, very popular when they actually launched. Within days they were sold out. This one here, I'm surprised is actually saying it's open, actually closes tonight as well. So if I was you, I'd go there tonight and register now. So what are they doing? What's the offer for Ola Ultimate? Now, they're giving a guaranteed £1,000 on a weekly basis. Weekly commission subscription fee is 0. But see, they crossed out £165. Now, this is quite important, because afterwards you are going to be paying £160 a week for this guaranteed £1,000 back from them. So if you do a quick calculation, I think what they want is for £1,000 they want 50 hours online hours from you. So that will take it down, and if you were paying £165, that will take it down to what, £835. But they're basing this on £20 an hour. But obviously after 165, so it comes to 835. That's about £16, just over 16, £17 an hour. So which is not bad really. You're guaranteed £17 an hour for giving them 165 pound a week. This is like a good old rent system, what taxi bases were all built on. But only difference is obviously they're guaranteeing you £1,000, where your local base ain't going to guarantee you nothing really. And the reality is probably earn more from them as well, but that's not the case. Please also understand when I'm doing this, there's a lot of criterias involved in this. The acceptance rate has to be certain things, the confirmation and all that sort of thing. But we could talk that a bit later if you like. Okay, so that's the first one, £100,000 Ola Ultimate. Now, oh yeah, there you go. This one has been popular actually. Ola Super Ultimate. What did we have before? Just Ultimate. Yes, the Super Ultimate took the day. The slot is closed, so they're not accepting anymore. So what they're guaranteeing you, £1,200 weekly ride fare guarantee. Now this is going to cost you £165 again, so it's actually the same as that, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And no commission obviously, because you pay a flat rate of £165. So their calculations, they must have done this on a lot of bases really, but that's the most popular one there. It was gone. And let's move to the next one. Ola One Stop. So what are they giving you here? They're giving you £1,100 a week guaranteed, but this plan here is more for, I would say, someone who's starting in taxing, someone's who's going to pay a lot of insurance, someone who hasn't got the money to buy a car. And to be honest, if you're going to buy a fairly new car, you need a lot of money. So this might suit a lot of people. So they're guaranteeing you £1,100 a week. That includes car rental, okay, car insurance, maintenance. So basically they've taken everything away from you there, apart from petrol. Now, how much are we talking about petrol? Probably about what sort of calculation can we do on this? £1,100, £165. They're gonna not £165. The weekly one is £385. So if you take £1,100 away from 385, that leaves you with what, 715 minus say £115 petrol. So that's going to leave you a net of £600 over 50 hours, I think. That's not bad actually, because if you think about it, that will land you around £12 an hour. Now £12 an hour, this is like you're working for someone. This plan is, you're going out, you're doing your 50 or 60 hours, whatever it is, and you're getting £12 an hour. Everything else is there. So this is like, you're going driving a bus or a lorry job or whatever it is, but obviously you're doing a taxi sort of thing. So this actually could be quite popular depending on your circumstances. So one thing Ola, I think what he's doing right now is actually distancing yourself from from the criticism about minimum pay and all that sort of thing that's going on, which Uber seems to be landed heavily on. So they're doing a good thing there. I think these plans ain't too bad at all. But as I said, what I'm doing right now is just a quick overview of the whole plans here. Some of these plans, you have to understand, will require you to work 50 hours. Some will require you to work 60 hours. Some of these will want you to work over 30 hours peak time. Some of them will want you to work 25 hours peak time. Completion rate as well. Some of these plans will require you to have at least 80% completion rate, and 20% acceptance rate or something like that. There's a lot of small print. I could go into another video about this actually. So before you actually take these plan on, please look at the small print. There's a lot of things you need to understand before you actually sign up. Okay, so there's another one here. Oh no, it's the same one. Anyway, let's go back to our video, what we started off by, and I'll talk to you in a sec. So those are all the plans. Right, now I've been asked which one would I actually go for myself, and something, the one I would probably go for is the Flex, Ola Flex, pay as you go. It's stress-free, and we live in an era now of Facebook and WhatsApp, and you'll come across a lot of these Ola topics now about, you'll have some drivers saying They've done 30 hours and it's showing 25 hours. Some will be saying, you know, I've accepted all the jobs and it's showing that I've accepted only 60% of the jobs. You know, how come? And so that will lead on you to ringing Ola support and, you know, trying to understand the whole thing. So, but for me, really, you know, I like to keep it simple. Offers don't really tempt me in any way. Right, anyway, back to our four digit secure start, and to determine is it actually good or bad. Now, we're going to look at 3 points of views from here. The first perspective is going to be from the driver. The second one is going to be the Ola company themselves. And obviously, third one, probably the most important one, the rider themselves. Right, firstly, as a driver, you know something, I particularly don't like it. You know, I didn't like it from the start, even before it actually came up, and I still don't. You know, it's time consuming. There's situations where you need to start the trip early and you can't. You know, so for me, it's definitely, you know, a no on my side of views. But there is pro to the actual thing itself. You know, there's a reassurance element to it, that you know you have picked up the right passenger. So that's good in that way. You know, I've picked up wrong passengers at Uber many of a times. There's no accidental trip starts, so that's good as well. You know, I've come across occasions where I've started the trip accidentally and then not get actually find the passenger myself. You know, so that creates a sort of a problem for me to solve and get Uber involved as well as well. Now we're going to talk about Ola, the company themselves, and how what is it from their side of things. Now they've come out with a motto called "Drive the Change." So you know they definitely need to be a bit different, and the driver's plan is obviously the most different one you've seen there. They do a driving test by the AA Tech, I think it's called, where they determine how good a driver is. And few have already felt that actually, which is quite funny. Actually, I don't think they would, but you know that's the way they want to drive the company, and that's, you know, that's up to them how they want to do it. Now this 4-digit thing, um, it is definitely a change. You know, is it a game changer for the actual company? I don't think so. You know, I don't think one element on its own is going to actually change the whole way of people jumping from Uber to Ola or Captain to Ola, whatever. So it's not there, but it is different. It's good for the company, and I must say, you know, it's not bad at all, really, to be honest. Then, and the final one, really, how does a rider think of it? Now, I've spoken to many riders, obviously, about this 4-digit secure thing, and they love it. You know, there's no two ways around it. Actually, they do actually like this. They feel good about it, and obviously, Uber hasn't done any help with all the horror stories, you know, you hear from you know, all over the internet about you know, drivers starting a trip or taking someone who is not the one who's ordered the actual cab himself. So Uber hasn't helped themselves there. But from the rider side, you know, it's definitely a yes. So there you have it, guys. You know, 3 to 1, the 4-digit secure start trip is actually a good thing when you weigh everything else up. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye bye now.